Today I'm going to be beginning a new rebuild in Madden 26, and this time around we're going to be rebuilding Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. So we just concluded our last rebuild, which was the Carolina Panthers. If you guys did not see that, I will leave a link at the top of the screen now to the last video of the series. It took us 4 seasons to win the Super Bowl. So with the Tennessee, we're going to hopefully be able to do better than that. That's going to be the goal, at least 4 seasons is the bar that we've set. I made a couple of interesting moves in the Panther rebuild. I made a couple of big trades. I kind of went with the strategy of just unloading draft picks, trying to pick up good players, more of a win now mode. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with Tennessee yet. We're going to kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. But our starting point last year, 2024 record, it sits at 3-14, and Tennessee is a 79 overall team, which is, I think, this tied for the second worst overall. There's a couple other teams in Madden that are 79 overall. Carolina is still the worst, sitting at 78 overall. But we did win the Super Bowl with them in 4 seasons. So theoretically, we should be able to do it in less time with Tennessee because they have better players. But, I mean, we all know it doesn't work like that. So we're going to just hop into this, adjust all of our settings, and then we're going to hop into the rebuild, and we're going to see how this first season goes. Ooh, I guess Madden did not get the news. Rip Brian Callahan's tenure in Tennessee. It was not good while it lasted. But you know what? They're on to new things. Madden, I guess, has not updated it yet, but I guess we're gonna take over for him, and we're gonna see if we could have done any better in his position. All right, I have adjusted all of our settings. I don't think gameplay settings really matter in simulations because I'm not actually going to be playing the games. I'm just going to simulate. But just in case it does matter, I do have the difficulty on all Madden to try to make it as difficult as possible. I have the quarter length set to 15 minutes. Again, I don't think that matters when you're simulating, but I changed it, so try to make it realistic. I turned auto progress players on because I can't be bothered to just manually upgrade all my players after every week. So I'm just going to let Madden do it for me. Salary cap is going to remain on. Trade difficulty is going to remain normal. And the free agent motivation impact is going to remain normal. That's all default settings there. Nothing changed, but since it matters in terms of the rebuild, I'm just going to show it so you guys can see what the settings are. And the one unrealistic thing I am going to change is injuries are going to be off because I don't want to have my quarterback or any of my major players just consistently getting hurt every year. So that would be no fun. And it's a video game and I have the ability to do that. So I'm going to turn injuries off. Just like we all wish we could in real life, and we're just going to see how it plays out. And last but not least, coach firing is on. So if I really do just suck at coaching and managing a team, I will be fired. So the conclusion of this series is either going to be a Super Bowl victory or I get fired. But other than that, all the other settings are just remain the same. I didn't touch them. So we're just going to hop right in to our first season. I'm not going to really be able to make any moves or anything. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look open up to the preseason week 1, see if there's any good free agents available. Cause I know there are some good players that are still not signed to teams. So if I can pick somebody up for a couple-year contract or whatever, cheap and help us out, I'm going to do that. And then I'll probably just sim to the end of this season and see how it goes. And then we'll get back to the off season where we can really start building and bringing in new players. Now we're going to hop in. I'm going to start playing in the preseason. We're going to just jump right in preseason week 1. Now, this first season, I'm not really going to be able to do a whole lot because the free agency period is already over, obviously. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check and see if there's any good available free agents that we can sign. I think there are a couple of good players that are not on teams. Yeah, Christian Wilkins, Stephon Gilmore, Justin Simmons is a pretty good player. So, I think at the very least, I could just sign Christian Wilkins because he's a good player, and I'm sure Tennessee probably has the cap space to do it. But let me take a look and see if any of these players are going to help us fill needs on the team. They are kind of all older players, but I'll take a look and see if any of them can help us fill any needs. Or maybe even assign one of them as a trade piece. We could do that too. But let me just take a look and see what I think the best move is here. Christian Wilkins is probably going to be worth signing, but I'll see if anybody else will fit the team too. Yikes. This team is not the best. The defense isn't too much better, but it does look like Christian Wilkins will fit on the team. We do have a 3-4 defense, so we got these guys, 3D tackles up front, so we're definitely going to want to sign Christian Wilkins so we can get a little bit of an upgrade here in our second D tackle spot, and we can get this 71 overall out of here and onto the bench. Christian Wilkins, welcome to the team. Yikes. Now, everybody else is pretty mid, so I mean, there's definitely going to be some guys that I need to re-sign in the middle of the season. I'll have to see who's up on contract, but honestly, I mean, most of these guys are probably going to be able to go. So honestly, I'll probably just re-sign the guys that have high interest in re-signing that are really worth keeping. And then everyone else that has low interest that I have to shell out extra money for, I'll probably just let them go because nobody is really worth keeping unless it's Zeitler or, somebody on the defensive side, Jeffrey Simmons, or our safety or corner. Like, we got a couple of decent players, but for the most part, most of these guys not going to be too bummed out if I lose them. But we definitely have a long way to go. All right, I'm going to sim up to the bye week of the preseason where it's going to make me cut, I think, 4 players. Yeah, we're at 57 out of 75. So I will have to cut 4 players. I'm going to sim up to that point and manually cut them so it doesn't auto-cut and cut somebody that I don't want them to cut. So I'll sim up a couple of weeks and start cutting those last 4 players. All right, 4 players getting cut. You're gone. Yeah, I'll get rid of you. You're gone. I can move him to practice squad, so I can do that. That's 3 out of 4. And then I'll move this guy to practice squad too. I guess we don't have to cut 4. Can move him to the practice squad, but 4 guys taken care of. We are now all set with our 53-man roster. One more setting I just realized I forgot to change. I'm going to turn scout college players to auto just so I don't have to assign scouts and do all that extra work. I'm just going to let the game do it for me. So turning this to auto, but everything else is still the same as what I showed you before. All right, here we are in week 1. Our first game of the season is going to be us against the Broncos. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sim this season out pretty much. I think that'll be the best move, and then I can get to the off season and start signing some new players because, like I said, free agency period for this season is already passed. So I can't really do anything. I mean, maybe I'll make a couple of trades real quick and see if I can bring in a couple of good players. But honestly, we're not really going to be able to build a competitive roster just through trades. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just simulate to the end of the season, and then we're going to have to just build through free agency. But I'll sim to like mid-season, couple weeks, and I'll start negotiating some contracts. I'll re-sign all the players that I need to re-sign. And then if I decide to do any trades, I will show you guys that. It might be worth trying to bring in a player this year just to get some kind of players on the team because we don't really have too many. So yeah, I'm going to do that, but I'll show you guys anything important up until then. But other than that, it'll be just into the next season, into the free agency, and see if we can bring in any good players for next season. All right, looking through the trade market, I think I'm going to try to pick up Jackson Smith-Njigba. He has a pretty low cap hit. He's got 2 years left on his contract, and he's only 23 years old, and he's also 88 overall, but he's a star. He's not a superstar. The superstar players are pretty hard to trade for. So I think that him at a star level with as an 88 overall, pretty low cap hit, I think I might be able to swing this trade. Plus, he's young, 23 years old, so him and Cam Ward will kind of be able to grow together and build up through the time together. They'll be able to stay together for most of their careers. Hopefully, it doesn't take that long to win anything here, but I think I'm going to try to make this happen. Jackson Smith-Njigba, welcome to the team. All right, I like where we're at now. We got Cam Ward, a nice weapon at wide receiver. His contract is going to be up at the end of next season, so we are going to have to negotiate with him and keep him. But I think I'm going to try to keep these two paired together for as long as possible. But other than that, I mean, I think we're in an okay spot. I mean, the offensive line needs a little bit of work there on the left side. But other than that, offense is, I mean, it's all right for this year. It should be good enough to not get us fired. And then the defense, we got a couple of good players on defense, but we are going to need to build through free agency next year. But I think we're good. I did make one pickup this season, but I think I'm just going to sim ahead a couple of weeks, negotiate contracts, keep who I want to keep, and then just let walk who I want to walk. And then we'll get to the free agency period for next season. We'll sign everybody we can, and then we'll get into next season where we can really be competitive for the first time. But yeah, this first season's going to kind of be a wash because I didn't get a chance at free agency. So I'm just going to go ahead to next season, and then we're going to build up free agency, and we're going to see how next season goes. All right, so we have 117 million in cap space. We have 25 players, I think, to re-sign or something like that. I'm going to go through. I'm going to try to keep the star players if I can. Obviously, there's going to be guys like McCreary here who are not very interested in re-signing. But I'm going to try my best to keep all the star players that I can, just because they are going to develop a little bit faster. And we do have kind of a lot of star players. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to re-sign a couple of players here, and then we're going to get to the free agency period at the end of next season. Try to go into that with as much cap space as possible, just in case there's any big free agents. And if there isn't, we can always try to bring back some of the guys that we're iffy on once we see who is actually available, because they will still show up in free agency period. Just because we don't negotiate with them now doesn't mean we can't end up re-signing them. So let me go through, send a couple offers in, try to re-sign some guys, and we'll see where we're at. All right, Christian Wilkins has literally no interest in re-signing, so I think I'm going to put him on the trade block and see if we can get something in return for him. Maybe we can get like a offensive lineman or something, left tackle maybe, hopefully, because we definitely need a left tackle. Amani Hooker is somebody I think I want to try to keep. He is our starting strong safety, and we can get him on a pretty cheap deal here. So I think I'll probably give him 3 years. He's got kind of neutral risk in re-signing. I'll try to drop the money a little bit and see if I can get him for a little cheaper. Worst case scenario, I can always renegotiate, send him another contract next week if he doesn't like this one. All right, perfect. So we took that, a little less money too, which is good. But now we got our strong safety lockdown. He is a star player, so he is only 78 overall right now, but he will develop as the season goes on. Another star player here, Draymond Jones. He's a 76 overall edge rusher. He's got pretty high interest in re-signing. But he is 28 years old, and for a 28-year-old player to only be at a 76 overall, probably going to let him walk. Might put him on the trade block, see if we can get any trade offers for him, but it's probably not somebody that I'm going to keep. As far as everyone else goes, Kevin Zeitler is really the only one I would be probably interested in keeping, but he is 35 years old, so I don't even know if he's going to play next year. So I'll probably hold off on giving him an offer, and if I do give him an offer, I'll wait until free agency starts, because if there's no other right guards available, then I'll probably just try to give him an offer, but he does have very little interest in signing with us, so it's probably going to take a lot of money, and he's already high overall. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a lot of money to give to a 35-year-old player, so I think I'll probably just let him go, even though he is by far our best offensive lineman. I can definitely bring in some new guys during free agency. But other than that, I mean, I think we're pretty good. I do have Smith-Njigba and Peter Skoronski here as options I have to accept at the end of the season. But other than that, I mean, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Everyone else here, not going to hurt too much if we lose them. Couple of players that, you know, would be good depth players, but other than that, I mean, I think we'll just go into free agency and try our best to bring in new players through there. So let me throw these couple of guys that I was talking about on the trade block, see if we can get any deals for them, and then maybe I'll re-sign a couple of these guys for depth, like the guys that are, you know, kind of lower overall players, but have high interest in re-signing. I can bring them in for cheap and at least get some decent overall players in positions, just in case we're not able to fill every position in free agency. All right, I added both of these guys to the trade block, and the offers I was getting were not that good, so I decided to just deal them. I sent them to the Jags to get an 82 overall corner who's got the star development trait and 5 years left on his contract. So that's going to help fill up our defensive secondary. So hopefully this is a good move for us. I think it is. I mean, both these guys are on expiring contracts for us anyway, and we just picked up a young star player who's on a 5-year deal. So we're definitely getting good value here, I think. But all the offers I was getting were pretty mid, so I decided to just take it upon myself and make my own offer, and this is what I came up with. So hopefully this is going to help us. So as of right now, this is what our team is looking like. We do have Calvin Ridley's up to an 81 overall, Smith and Jigba still 88, Tony Pollard 84. And then I am going to put Zeitler on the trade block just because he is on an expiring contract. I might not accept any of the trades, but I want to at least see what we can get for him. And if we can get something that I think is worth it, I'll probably take it because I think we're going to end up losing him anyway. And then as far as defensive side goes, we did just pick up our new corner, Greg Newsome, down here. He is going to slot in as our #1 corner, so that's going to be good for us. And then I re-signed Roger McCreary on a pretty cheap deal. I think I gave him like $3 million or something a year for like 4 years. So we got him locked down for pretty cheap. And he's also star development, so he's going to increase overall at a little bit of an accelerated rate, not super crazy, but he will get better. And then we now have L'Jarius Sneed, who is a superstar corner. I think we still have him under contract for a couple of years, if I'm not mistaken. But he is back there, so our corners are pretty solid for the next few years. We won't have to worry about that. The biggest thing I think I'm going to be looking for is probably pass rush in free agency. I think the safeties are kind of okay. Linebackers are all right. I mean, we could use a better will linebacker, but it's not that big of a deal. I think more important thing is going to be pass rush. But I think I'm pretty good where we're at. I'll see what offers I get for Zeitler. If I get anything that's worth it, I'll show you. If not, we'll be into the end of the season and into free agency. All right, so I got this offer for Zeitler, Tariq Woolen, 83 overall superstar corner, who's only got a $5 million cap hit, and he's under contract for another 4 seasons. I know I just said we were good at corner, but I think what I'm thinking is I'm going to take this offer, get Tariq Woolen on the team, and then I'll put L'Jarius Sneed on the trade block because he's our superstar corner that we currently have. And he's under contract for another couple of seasons, but his cap hit's like $22 million. So if I can get Woolen on a cheaper cap hit for also like 3 or 4 years, and then I can get rid of L'Jarius Sneed, that'll free up some money for us, and I'll be able to. I think that'll be a good deal for us. So I think I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to put L'Jarius Sneed on the trade block. All right, so after the Zeitler trade, our offensive line is looking pretty sad, honestly. Our right guard spot definitely need improvement there. But our corners are going to be very solid now. We got Tariq Woolen over here, and we are going to put L'Jarius Sneed on the trade block to see if we get any good offers for him. So I already got him on the trade block. Let's go ahead and next week and see what kind of offers we get. Hopefully, ideally, we want an offensive lineman. If not, offensive line is going to be the biggest thing that we're looking for in free agency because pretty much every single one of these positions needs to be upgraded. All right, so unfortunately, we already hit the trade deadline, so I'm not getting any offers for L'Jarius Sneed, but that's no big deal. We'll keep him this year. We'll trade him next year. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I do have a hole on the roster. I guess I don't really need to fill it. It's fine. I'll just head into next season, head into free agency. Right now, we're sitting at 4-5 in week 11, just from the weeks that I've simmed, negotiating contracts and trading players and all that. But as far as we sit here, I mean, I think all these guys are probably just going to end up walking. I might, you know what? I'll try to keep him maybe like a 1-year deal. I don't know. That's kind of expensive for a 76 overall player. I might just let him go. I think we're definitely going to need some kind of depth at some positions. Because this is a lot of players, like half my roster that's needs to negotiate. So we're definitely going to be missing a lot of players, but I mean, I think most of these guys are just backups anyway, which is fine. But yeah, we're headed to free agency, and we'll build up the team from there. So here we are at the end of the season. We finished our first season that I didn't really do much in with a 9-8 record. And then we look at the season recap. The Chargers, Super Bowl champions over the Philadelphia Eagles. NFL MVP is Josh Allen. And then all the other rewards are right there for you to see. But that's where we are at the end of the first season. 9-8 record. Let's go ahead next week into free agency, and we'll start bringing some players in. All right, let's take a look at our lineup real quick before we head into free agency. Actually, I'll reorder my depth chart real quick because I don't think it does that automatically. And now let's look at our lineup, and we'll see what kind of positions we need to fill. So obviously, offensive line is going to be a big one. Actually, our right tackle and our left guard are pretty solid. I think these are both younger guys too, so we can definitely hang on to them. So definitely want to look at left tackle, center, right guard. Those are going to be the big positions for us to fill. I mean, center's not too bad, really just left tackle and right guard. Obviously, we got Cam Ward. We're good there. Tony Pollard, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Calvin Ridley. Our receivers are pretty good. Chigakonkwo is 78 overall. I mean, he's pretty good, but we could maybe use an upgrade at tight end if there's somebody available. And then on defense, we're definitely going to need a pass rusher for sure. Yeah, our edge rushers are looking pretty sad. I'm not going to lie. I mean, this guy's actually gone up decent overall wise, so we can hang on to him. But yeah, we're definitely going to need a right edge and D tackle for sure. Jeffrey Simmons is up to a superstar X Factor, 98 overall. That's massive for the pass rush, actually, so that's good for us. But now we do have to trade L'Jarius Sneed, so I will be adding L'Jarius Sneed to trade packages, see what I can get for him. But biggest checklist here is going to be edge rusher, and then probably offensive line, really. But with that being said, we also have 108 million in cap space, so we definitely don't need to be shy about bringing in good players if there are some available. All right, let's take a look here. Let's see what free agents are available for us. We do have Travis Kelce, 88 overall tight end. I mean, he is 36 years old, so not the best. But there aren't really too many good players here. I'm not gonna lie. So I'll look through here. I'll see if there's anybody worth bringing in. We're definitely going to need some guys. I mean, what do we need? Like a right edge. So, I mean, I'll look through. We could bring in Poona Ford. I mean, he's 30 years old. This is kind of a expensive deal for him. I'm not going to lie. 9 million. It's kind of a lot for a defensive tackle. But, I mean, let me look through here. Let's see if there's anything worth doing. All right. So I've submitted some offers here. We're probably not going to end up getting this guy because everyone else got a pretty comparable offer. The Eagles and I both have a strong offer for Odafe Owe. They'll be huge to fill our right edge spot. And then I did put in an offer for a right guard as well. So let's evaluate these offers. Hopefully these guys signed us. We got two of them. We did get the right tackle or the left tackle and the right edge. So that's actually pretty huge for us because those are the two big positions. I mean, the right guard is whatever. He can go to a different team. I don't really care. But I mean, hey, there's pretty good signings for us right here. We fill up our left tackle spot and we fill up our right edge spot. So let me head back. I mean, I'll see if there's any other right guards available. I'm not sure if there is, but I'll look real quick and see. I mean, yeah, Shaq Mason, he's 33 years old. That's kind of, don't really want to give him a lot of money. So I think I might just maybe I'll just end up signing one of these guys just to fill the spot. I mean, what was our overall on our right guard again? He was pretty low, wasn't he? 73, yeah. So I mean, he's about the same anyway. So I mean, we're good there. This guy is probably going to get traded because I don't need him anymore now that I have a better left tackle. But other than that, I mean, I think we're in a pretty good spot. I think our team is looking pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, I think we're in a pretty good spot. I can reorder the depth chart so we can get like a real idea of what the team looks like now. But let me see. Let me go to manage team, adjust the lineup. We can take a look at our offense. Yeah, I mean, offensive line's definitely looking a lot better now. Tight end, I mean, could use a little bit of an upgrade, but it's not too bad. Everyone else is pretty good, honestly. Defense is looking pretty solid now. We do need a D tackle though. That's one thing I forgot. We do need a D tackle. But we also do still have L'Jarius Sneed who we can trade. So, and now we have our backup left tackle that we can trade. So we do have a couple of guys that we can get rid of to bring in maybe a defensive tackle, or maybe we can pool them together to bring in just a really, really good wide receiver. That might be a good move for us too, because our third wide receiver is kind of lacking, 77 overall. But yeah, I mean, let me look real quick and see if there's any defensive tackles available. Other than that, I mean, I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. All right, we got DJ Jones, 31-year-old defensive tackle. We can probably get him maybe like a little cheaper than that. I mean, if we can get him for this, then I think that'll be all right. I mean, I don't even know if he's going to have any other offers. I might as well just evaluate offers because he doesn't have any other ones. All right, good. So we got him. That fills our defensive tackle 3 spot. And other than that, I mean, I think we're good. I mean, what else really was there? Just right guard, really, but there's nobody available that's better than what we got. So I mean, I think we're pretty good to head into the season. Maybe tight end. I mean, no, there really isn't anybody worth getting. So I think we're good. I think I'll just head in there and I'll start trading. I'll start getting some offers for these guys. But you know what? I'll probably do that. I mean, it's already been well over an hour of this, so I might just fill out the team and get ready to head into next season after this in the next video. So let me reevaluate where we're at. I'll finish up filling up the roster, and then we'll head into the next season. All right, let's head into the draft. I think I'll just do like our first round pick because we did get rid of our second round pick. So I think I'll just do our first round pick and then probably just simulate the rest because I don't really care about the rest. All right, I think I'm going to take a tight end here. All right, so post free agency and post draft, this is what our team is looking like. Pretty much the same as what you last saw. We got our left tackle that we signed in free agency, and then everything else on the offensive line is pretty much the same. We drafted this tight end in the first round, who's got a hidden development trait, which is good for us. And he's also decent overall fullback, so that's good. And then our defensive side, we picked up a defensive tackle here in free agency. We picked up a right edge rusher here in free agency. And then everyone else is pretty much the same that we had before. A couple of re-signs, like we re-signed our safety. And then we got our corners that are pretty stacked. We'll be trading L'Jarius Sneed, trying to get a good package back for him. Jeffrey Simmons is up to a 95 overall superstar X Factor. That's massive for our pass rush. And then I also signed a kicker and a punter from free agency just because they were still available post free agency and they were cheap. So it's like 1 million and 2 million contracts for 1 year. So that's how I'm going to handle the kicker and punter situation. But yeah, this is what our team is looking like here at the end of the first season. We finished with a 9-8 record. But next video will be part 2. We'll be heading into our second season. Main objectives will probably be trading L'Jarius Sneed and probably trying to find a wide receiver 3 if we can. But we'll see what we can get. I think we'll be able to get some decent trade packages for L'Jarius Sneed, so I'm excited to see how that goes. But yeah, this is where the team stands as of right now after 1 season with a 9-8 record, getting ready to head into year 2.